Hello, investors and traders, and welcome to another weekly market report. I'm AJ Monte with StickyTrades, and before we get to the charts, I just want to explain that today's market report is going to be leaning more educational with a focus on the wheel strategy. We've been talking about this during our midweek report. We've been talking about it during our regular webinars with our members. And right now, as far as I can see, this is one of the best markets to be practicing this strategy. And before you get into any type of option trade, I would strongly encourage that you look into the risk. You learn a little bit about what it means to buy a call, buy a put, sell a call, sell a put before attempting to make any trades. Because if you're not careful, options can bite you. When used incorrectly, they can be very risky, but when you use them correctly, they can be a great asset for you. It's kind of like a credit card, right? You could misuse a credit card and get yourself in big trouble, or you could use it for your business and do good things with it with regard to managing your money. So let's take a look now at the DIA. This is the daily chart of the Dow Jones Industrial Average ETF, ticker symbol DIA. And you can see here that while I'm recording this earlier in the morning, not too long after the market opens, we do have a higher low, higher high. So tomorrow we might see a little bit higher, but for the next couple of weeks, I'm keeping my downside target right where it is because we've got a couple of gaps down below the market that are going to act as price magnets. If you've been following along with my gap fill rules, you'll know that 80% of the time gaps fill, and then once the gaps fill, we generally see pivots at those levels because the gaps are used as price targets for traders that are more swing trading. Anywhere between 3 weeks and 3 months, those traders tend to focus on the gaps. So again, that downside target for DIA is going to be 532.71. Moving right along to IWM, you can see here that we have a green candle, higher low, higher high. The divergence from the moving average is quite wide right now. And I think that while this is not a big downside target, you can see that this also comes right at a gap. And the gap is situated more or less right at that moving average. So while I think we could see a pullback to this moving average and hitting my target, most likely that will be the area of support where we'll see a bounce for the short-term traders. So keep that in mind for IWM. We're not trading IWM, but there are many people who do because they're very inexpensive options and you could trade spreads pretty conservatively there. So downside target on IWM is 297.14. Moving right along to the Qs, you can see here that we do have a green candle. It would not surprise me in the least to see that candle close lower on that high, forming a shooting star. We're getting a lot of energy in the markets right now, but by the end of the day, I do believe you're going to see some profit taking. So keep an eye on that. If you watch the video after the market closes, then you'll see the result there. But I do believe that we're going to see a longer shadow on top of that candle by the end of the day. Downside target on the Q is still open down there at 701.59, which is again right near that gap. Gaps fill 80% of the time, like I said before, but this is also at a key role reversal area where former resistance, once broken right here on that gap, will most likely turn to support. And a lot of times the support is tested. So if you are long anything, and the majority of our positions are positive delta or bullish, so we are protecting our profits. And next week, our option traders are going to be rolling the short sides of the spreads to take in a bunch of cash. So we'll probably talk a little bit about that in the next market report. So again, QQQ downside target for the longer term is 701.59. Taking a look at the monthly chart on the Qs, I want to show you something. We have a green candle here that right now is a bullish engulfing candle. However, if it closes any lower in the next couple of weeks from where it is right now, that will be a half signal, turning that bullish candle more into a bearish sign. All right, so keep an eye on that because the monthly candles right now are showing a super wide divergence from this moving average here. And the market does not generally like to stay that far away from that moving average before pulling back like we've seen in the past. So that's a fairly wide divergence that you have to keep an eye on. So that's QQQ. Again, downside target for you right there is going to be 701.59. Moving right along to SPY, which is the S&P 500 ETF. You can see another green candle. Again, I'm going to forecast here early on in the day that will wind up with a longer shadow on top, turning that more into a shooting star. That's usually how it forms. Shooting stars in the morning are big green candles. And then by the end of the day, the profit taking comes in, forces the high lower and lower, leaving that long shadow. So the shooting star winds up looking something like this with a small body and a long shadow on top. And when that's found at the end of an upward leg, that generally means downside pressure is moving into the market. Right, I've shown this diagram explaining what a shooting star is over and over again, so keep an eye on that. It's always nice to be able to broadcast during an open market and then take a look to see what the result is. You have to understand that these diagonal lines here, these are former target lines. Right, so if you've been following along, you'll know that my targets are set long before any of those candles are there. And then we keep track of the hit rate, which we reported 2 weeks ago at a very high rate. And you're going to be able to use those targets if you're an option trader to be able to position yourself accordingly in the option markets. Looking at the 3-year weekly candle on this, you could see, again, looking back in time, how far the market has come away from that moving average. And it does not like staying that far above it. Most of the time when we have that wide divergence, you get these pullbacks to the moving average. And, if we're looking at the weekly chart here, my downside target is not a big stretch here. You see that little diagonal line there, a 758.58. So that is my downside target for SPY. Now, moving to the VIX, interestingly enough, while the S&P is up right now as I'm recording this, the VIX is also up. You don't usually see that because for the most part, the VIX is inversely related to the S&P. And what do we have here but a hammer candle? It's the opposite of a shooting star. So again, that supports or confirms what I'm talking about, thinking that we're going to wind up with a shooting star on the S&P, because if we have a hammer on the VIX, the opposite of a hammer is going to be the shooting star found at the end of an upward leg. So this is bullish. And if you had a chance to watch our midweek report, I did stick my neck out. You can go back and listen to that. The link to the recording will be in the description box below. But I did forecast that today we would have a green candle on the VIX. And there we have it right there for your own eyes. And I normally don't try to forecast the VIX especially, but it is a bit overextended. Now, I'm going to put an upside target on the VIX to test these highs up here. So my upside target on the VIX for you folks that like to trade the VIX is 1563. So we got about another 6% to the upside. All right, so let's get back to talking about the wheel. What is it? It's a conservative option strategy where you start off by selling puts. Okay, so selling puts is where we begin. And for you to understand what selling a put is, when you sell a put option, you're basically obligating yourself to buy the stock at a level you determine. That level is known as the strike price. So in other words, if you're trading a stock and you say, okay, I wouldn't mind buying the stock at 50 when it's trading, let's say 55 or 60, you're selling a $50 put, which is basically telling the market, I'm willing to buy that stock if it drops down to the 50 level, and I will hold my obligation in place. However, when you sell a put like that, it's known as a cash secured put, you are basically getting paid for the obligation. So they pay you a premium. Isn't that great? Now, I'm doing this with SLV, I'm doing it with SpaceX, and so I'm using the market's money to buy stock with it. Here's how that works. And I'm going to use SpaceX as an example, all right, because I think longer term SPCX is going to go higher. Not right now. This is not a time I'd be selling the puts, but I'm going to show you what that would look like. SpaceX, I believe, is going to pull back just a little bit. We see this bearish harami candle right here, so that's more bearish. I think SpaceX is going to pull back closer to the 130 level. So here's my forecast. I think it's going to pull back after that bearish harami. I think it's going to show a level of support right around 130. So it's trading 142. You see that? This is also a roll reversal support level if it pulls back to that 130 level. But I'd be willing to buy this stock at 130. I'd probably wait for it to pull back a little bit more so I can get a bigger premium when I sell that put. But let me just go out there and show you how much they're paying you or willing to pay you to buy the stock $12 or almost $13 lower. So I go into SpaceX and I say, okay, I'm going to sell a September option. 36 days is the time that I have to hold that obligation in place. And look at that. They're willing to pay me $6.20 per share to obligate myself to buy the stock $12.50 lower from here. So think about that. If you sell one option contract, you're getting paid, now the bid is $630, you're getting paid $630 cash up front to sell that put. If the stock drops and stays below 130, you buy it at 130. But remember, they paid you $6.30 to buy it at 130. So your cost basis is going to be 123.70. If you think about it, do the quick math. 123.70 would be your cost basis if you wound up with the stock. That's called getting assigned a position. So going back to my little diagram here, if you get assigned after selling the put here, what happens? You're long the stock. What do you do after you get long the stock? You go right into the market and you start selling calls. Guess what happens when you sell the calls? You now get paid again. Now, when I get paid over and over by selling puts and selling calls, I take that money and I use it to go buy more of the underlying stock in SpaceX because I'm getting free shares now that are paid for by the premium I collected in the market. You see? So if you wind up long the stock, you sell calls. If the stock goes up, selling calls means that you're obligating yourself to sell the stock, which again, this is a stock you just bought by selling the puts, and you get paid. And each time you get paid, your cost basis goes lower and lower. Again, like I said before, I'm doing this with SLV. If you want to follow along and track my trades, just follow me on X. I post all of my trades on X under hashtag AJ SLV trades. And when I do a trade, I put it out there to the public and you can just follow along. I'm not going to tell you to trade with me. That's totally up to you. I don't want to give you advice there, but you can follow along to see how I'm making money in the market. Again, the way it works is I'll sell a put, let's say down here. If I get long the stock, I then go sell calls, collect money. So I collected money by selling the put. I collected money by selling the call. What am I going to do with all that money? I go out and I buy more SLV. The cost basis on that now is 0. And each time I do that, it lowers my overall cost basis on the total position. Now, at first glance, if you know nothing about options, that might sound a little confusing, but I'm going to tell you right now, stick with us. If you would like to have a free 15-day trial membership, you could just scan this code right there with the camera on your cell phone. Come on over for 15 days, watch what I do, ask me questions, participate in the webinars. You could listen to the recordings. You could participate in StickyTrades University. We've got a lot to offer. And if you want to take 15 days and just cram and then decide not to come on board, that's okay. I'm really okay with that, because once you see what we have to offer, you're going to want to be part of our community. It's a great community. And in fact, we're offering a cruise in October where on the 26th, we're having a raffle for those who are part of our Ultimate membership. The paid membership of Ultimate Trading Service will get a free lottery ticket. We're going to pull that lucky ticket in a drawing, and believe it or not, the probability or the odds of you winning that cabin is fairly high. Like I said yesterday, it's not like you're buying a ticket to the New York State Lottery or the Florida Lottery. The numbers are a lot lower than that, obviously, so your chances of winning go way up. So that's it for now. You have a great rest of the week, and we'll talk to you on the next report. So long.
In a world of endless data, where every second counts, introducing Nod Live, your professional compass in the chaos of the stock market. Nod Live cuts through the noise. Stay ahead with Nod Live.